um, considering the times. I'm just gonna give people a few minutes, maybe, and talk about something random in the meantime. That random thing will be the Ghostbusters movie. The same movie I was blown away by and I can't really get over. It was truly remarkable. Um, it was just the elements, like the volcano, the portal to hell, the Revelation 6:12, which is the passage from the Bible, talks about the oceans boiling and the sun turning black. It was in that freaking movie. It was right in the beginning. And my God, was it a trip. All right, well, 2 people already here. So, whoever you are, it would be splendid and lovely if you could announce yourself. Or it looks like it's down to 0 again. All right. All right, well, then whatever. Oh, no, we do have someone here. Hello, Annie Robinson. How are you? We're going to be discussing an impossible subject, right? Our eternal existence. Oh, that's great to hear. And I just wanted to make it a point, just because I've had my own profound near-death experience, and seeing the absolute, seeing the realm of the absolute zero of everything and nothing simultaneously doesn't mean by a long shot that I'm still not mystified by existence. No, you do. The thing of it is, when you're in that moment, in the experience, you do, while you're there, seem to know all the answers, or at least the important ones, right? But then as soon as you're out, they simply dissipate. You simply return to your incarnation and are who you are, or who you perceive yourself to be again. It's a complicated thing, evolution, spiritual, different ways of how it occurs. There's so many different variables at play, and then you do have the realm of the absolute, right, which you would deem as God, right, or you would deem as the source or creator. But then you have to ask yourself the question, do different species or different creations of that source have different afterlives? That is a really interesting question. Or, since we are presumed to be all one, would it all just be one afterlife? But then again, it depends on what you mean by that afterlife too. I mean, it is kind of hard to imagine though, right? Just imagine for a moment you have a hyper intelligent race of some sort of alien species that is like a ridiculous, I don't know, million years ahead of us. And they too, incarnate, and they are part of life cycles, and they are, they are the same way, because we're everything is ultimately the same. But can you imagine sharing the same afterlife with a species that you can't have any relation with, but maybe you can have some relation with them because everything is cohesive and one in the realm of the absolute, right? So you can understand, or at least learn anything, right? So it's complicated, right? And then I was meditating on this. I was meditating on the idea of reverse spiritual evolution. Now, what does that mean? Well, you start from the absolute highest heaven, right? You begin as a pure angel and are just in absolute ecstasy and bliss and are doing whatever you're doing, but then you descend downwards. You descend downwards ever so slowly into the material realm. And then you have to pick yourself back up and wind yourself back to that angelic state. Is that something that could be happening here? Why should we assume that evolution necessarily goes straight forward? Why can't it be the case that some souls evolve backwards in order to find themselves? Kind of like that boomerang I talked about, right? Or a spring, right? You shoot yourself out into the outer darkness and then you climb your way back up, right? You're on top of the mountain and you descend down the mountain on purpose. And you are at the bottom of the Mount Everest and you have to come back up. How about that for an idea? It's a soul challenge. It's a soul challenge is what it is. And that is a driving force in our eternal nature, to have a challenge. Makes sense if it cycles, yeah. Well, I mean, it has to cycle, Annie, because I think we're in a condition of eternal recurrence where everything just sort of recreates itself forever, you know. And I shared a video the other day about Morg. I have some things about him that kind of bother me a little bit, but whatever, that's just my personal thing. But yeah, I do believe in eternal recurrence, where you have a universe that collapses in on itself, and then just that information from that universe basically is sucked into a black hole, where it ultimately just ends up exploding into another universe. And it is not the same. It is a different sort of creation the next time around. And then that universe just kind of collapses in on itself, gets sucked into a black hole, and then bam, explodes again somewhere else in the void, the eternal black void, and it's another creation again. Okay, somebody else is here. Hold on. Long Star, what's up? What's up, man? You doing something for Thanksgiving? I'm working 12-hour shifts, so I'm going to be making like $30 an hour. Let's see. Hey, Angel, what's happening? Oh, dude, did we freeze? Okay, yes, we were, in fact, interrupted, but hey, many Big Bang explosions, expansion, collapse, rinse and repeat. Rinse and repeat, yeah, exactly. Turkey Day. All right, we already had our Thanksgiving, so got to wait till Christmas now for turkey. All right. Annie Robinson asks about white holes. I did read a little bit about them. They're pretty interesting. It's like I don't know how exactly they operate. Is it like the opposite? Like, because I know black holes break down matter, right? And they kind of compress it and break down the material. White holes probably extract that material. I don't know. I got to look into that, but they're interesting. And not only are they interesting, but I swear that's like a Mandela effect. Like, white holes did not exist in my previous Earth. That is something in this weird ass wacky planet. There should be a variety of holes. Yeah, definitely should be a variety of holes, man. Yeah. I don't know, guys. What do you think? So I'm going back to my video, right? So before you guys came, I was talking about how, it's possible reverse evolution, where you start at the top, go back down to the bottom, only to have to climb yourself back up to Mount Everest. So you start off as an angel and you descend downward to pick yourself back up. So I definitely think some souls do evolve that way, and that would make sense. Not all, of course, but it's something that's really interesting to think about, because why would you, like, say you're in the heavenly state, the realm of the absolute, right? And you're just in the eternal womb of God, just chilling there forever, right? It would be really rough to just descend like into the 3D world, like into the barren wastelands of hell, basically, right? Maybe it'd be a little easier to descend down the stairs and go into the 3D later. I mean, it's just something to think about. Instead of just plunging yourself into the realm of Joe Biden and Barack Obama and Donald Trump and all these clowns and the Faucis. Oh, I can't say that word on YouTube. Oh, God. I don't know what's going to happen now, guys. Anyway. Oh, peace is here. Right on. Could make sense. I think that's what happened to me. Like, hit rock bottom with the worst people imaginable. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, it happens like on a micro level too. It happened in my life too. Oh, trust me, I've hit major rock bottom myself. I've been in some really deep, dark places. So, yes, I mean, it at least happens in many people's lives, and a lot of people are not fortunate, and they just end up, deceased. They don't climb out of that. They just die. But I think people who have climbed out of that, they're really fortunate. They should be happy with themselves, and not only be happy with themselves, but count their blessings that they're still here, even in this CGI world. I'm just trying to, just a second, sorry. Trying to be optimistic about the white sun, okay? I can't just like the hell? There's like this weird noise. It kind of sounds like a cricket, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. I think it's I don't know. There's all kinds of weird stuff where I work, so whatever. Anyway, Fraud Chi, you got it. That's exactly who he is. But hey, we got to be careful, because the goons are going to get us. They're going to snatch us up. All right. Anyway, so let's go back to my question about the source itself, about God, right? And you may be wondering, like, who the hell are you to talk about God, right? I'm like, well, I'm a little cell of him, so I have a right to talk about him. And you're a cell of him as well, or him, her, it. So imagine if you existed forever, right? Which you have. Would you know the reason as to why you existed forever? That is a conundrum that is really hard to overcome, because the word reason itself, I mean, what if this is just a concept? It's just a human concept, essentially. What if we came up? What if it does feel like in the realm of the absolute that such questions are not even necessary. In the heavenly realm, the realm of my near-death experience, and of many others, it just seems like to even ask such a question wouldn't really even matter at that particular moment. But while we are here in what we deem as the material realm, it seems like it does matter. It seems like we are searching for that, right? Who we are. What is our development as a soul? Where are we going to end up? I can't imagine that even if a soul were to reach nirvana, that it would continue in that state forever, because creation constantly demands movement. It always demands flow. Like I always make the analogy of like breathing lungs. So the source expands outward the creation and then internalizes that particular creation only to expand out the next one. So if you're in a stasis, a sort of eternal sleep, nirvana, you're kind of no longer participating in that expansion. Maybe you are in like this dreamlike state, maybe, but it just seems like everything has to be active. And there's a microcosm of this in our world. Everything is active, everything is moving, everything is flowing, and this includes the stars and the moon and the sun, and everything revolves and is always in motion. So I think the same sort of rule applies for, all of creation itself in general. So if you agree or disagree, then please let me know. A body in motion stays in motion, yes. Angel says, lol, I like the white sun. Oh, wow, I'm jealous. I wish I could like it because I despise it. It's like I actually see it as like my enemy. Like I have to go battle against. Like every time I go outside during the day, I'm like, okay, how much microwave syndrome am I gonna have today? If this is a digital world, rather be deleted than saved. Yeah, I hear that. I mean, incomprehensible suffering, right? Just things that are just unimaginable. Anything goes here. There's no limits to violence. There seems to be no rules even. Like, I mean, it's ridiculous. Like the things that are allowed to occur here are just beyond horrifying. It gets to me too. I've been asking this question my entire life myself, so I wish I had a clear answer too. And I've heard the 500 million theories myself, and none of them are satisfying. None of them are, you know. Deletion is quite likely, I would say. All right. Well, what else should we talk about? You guys kind of, I would hope so, yeah. You guys are, I'm actually glad that someone showed up. I didn't think anybody would because of Thanksgiving tomorrow and stuff. So I'm glad someone showed up. So ultimately, like, what is it okay? Can you imagine not existing and having no conscious awareness whatsoever? I'm just trying to. What would be? Would it be better just for nothing to exist, or for everything to exist like it seemingly does, or at least the illusion that it exists? So, what would be a better option? I mean, I've often just done that to myself. I would just sit there and meditate and be like, what if I am nothing? What if everything is nothing? And nothing existed. Somehow, even in that state, I think we would still exist, Just by asking that question alone implies your own existence. So, I don't know, it's such a mystery. It's such a mystery. I'm telling you guys, when I have my final NDE, my ultimate death experience, not near death, it wouldn't be near death, it would be death, right? I'm going to ask God. I'm going to ask I'm going to say, hey, why do you exist? Why have you existed forever? What is the reason for your existence? I can imagine an answer would be something like, I exist because of love, because everything is love, and love is an eternal force that is all powerful, and it must exist, and it cannot not exist. Something like that. That's kind of the answer I would expect to receive. But would I be satisfied with that answer is another question. I don't know. Let's see what the chat says. Peace says, oh wait, let's go back. There's a few more. Jack Peterson. Come on, chat. What? It's always, the chat's always tripping out. Okay. What? If Satan is real, do you think he could be forgiven? Oh, that is a great question. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I do think so. The question is not whether he can be forgiven. God's love is all powerful. It can't be dissipated by anything. Nothing can go against it. But it's not him. It's his choice if he wants to receive that love or not, right? If he doesn't want to receive it, then it's all basically meaningless. I mean, that's just how I see it. He's just going to remain. And I do believe he exists, by the way, just to make that clear. And in some form or another coming through a portal here in the event called IP2 within the next coming years. So very much believe in his existence. And let's see what else in the chat. The chat that is super slow and keeps disappearing on me. Accusers are forgiven every day. Not sure what Satan is guilty of. Hey, that is a good point. Yeah, that is a good point, because pointing fingers, it's usually the guilty guy who's pointing the fingers, isn't it? That's so true. P says, I always wished for that when I was a kid. I didn't want to exist, and I thought we were nothing on earth already. That's interesting. That's especially interesting if that's what you were experiencing as a kid. That sort of implies you're quite a developed soul, I feel. Oh wow, now 6 people here. Yeah, the opposite of love is evil. Yeah, the English language is coded sorcery, all kinds of crazy stuff. You should check out this guy called I can't remember his name, but he's like an expert on this stuff. I think Angel knows who I'm talking about. He's Canadian too. Okay, I'm gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here for 10 minutes in silence trying to remember his name, but yeah, you could see how the English language has all these nuances and weird things that add up to things that are basically spells, like the word spelling itself, right? Yeah, because it's a spell. You're casting a spell. Exactly. All right. Live in evil. There you go. Live in evil. Why would it? I mean, isn't that just strange how they mean the same word backwards? That just like blows my mind, honestly. I'm not developed, trust me. Hey, that is something that a developed soul would say. Okay? So that means you are. I'm sorry. Okay. Live in evil, Jordan. Yeah, Jordan Maxwell is he still alive? I mean, Jordan Maxwell, I used to watch him quite a lot. I've read some of his stuff, but I mean, he was already really old, like 10 years ago when I was into him. So if he's still alive now, I got to look into it. He would be ridiculously old at this point. Sword equals S word. Yeah, word magic. You want to know something? I'm pretty sure it's not just English. I mean, I do speak Russian fluently, and I speak a little Italian. Yeah, cursive writing, curse. And yeah, those languages, I don't know, it's still just not the same. I'm sure if I could dig around, like I could find some things in Russian that would like be curse-like, but English is just like too perfect. It's almost like it's designed for it. There's something that is pushing for regression, decay, and collapse of anything. I call it abomination. Yeah, it is an abomination. Whatever it is definitely trying to kill and destroy everything. And that's another thing about our eternal purpose. Like, what is going on in this place that we're at? Like, is this an alien hive? That's not, that theory is totally not unreasonable. Not by a long shot. You have the bee symbolism everywhere. You have, the fragrance that I talked about, the scent, the pheromones, the thing that attract us like a hive to our own demise. All these things going on. It's just crazy to think about. Maxwell is hanging on last time. Wow. I mean, that's he's still alive then. Well, I'm glad. Um, Religion, government feed on us. Yeah, it's all one giant feeding mechanism. It is, I mean, it's almost undeniable at this point that our energy is being used for something. It's so in your face and as clear as day and very evident. And but then again, how does that tie into the bigger picture of who we are as eternal souls, right? And is it the case that if we don't reach a certain point of love, awareness, and understanding, that we will regress to those that are feeding on us? So let's just, for example, assume that it's insectoid aliens or whatever. If we devolve ourselves as humans, do we become them as a result? Because I have to assume it's a lower form of consciousness, even though they might be more technologically advanced, because they have to use us for whatever reason. They can't be evolved spiritually if they have to lie about everything, sneak around, and use us as food. I mean, it can't be. Okay. Do aliens use black magic? If so, does that make them demons? Yeah, I mean, yeah. I think I think aliens are just like, humans. There's good, evil, everything in between. And magic, I would not be shocked by the least bit if there was magic used. No way. Okay, hold on, chat. Longstar says it was a giant black tunnel, sort of a hive mind, a giant mass of pure suffering. Probably has a lot of influence, or its suffering been collected by something. Angel says, I say, be not of the hive, be your own, no rulers. Yeah. And that's where I go back to the new Ghostbusters movie. It was about opening the portal to that ethereal hive beneath the earth through a volcanic eruption and an earthquake. And then you had revelations. The whole movie is just, I can't get over it. Like, I'm not going to spoil it anymore. You guys really got to see it. You guys really got to see it. It's a crazy movie. Hey, Little Wing, it's been a while. Haven't heard from you. How are you? Just wanted to say happy Thanksgiving if you don't celebrate. I pray you still have some nice days with that good love. Thanks. Blessings to you too. Thank you. Thank you so much. All right. Well, I mean, it's approaching 30 minutes now. So, anybody have anything else to say? Was Bill, if I told you Long Star, it would kind of ruin the movie. But okay, there is a pleasant surprise in it. Okay, the movie is good. Okay, I will tell you this. I was expecting, when I came there, some new, just rehashed Hollywood garbage. It's just going to be some, sequels normally suck much of the time. I had no expectations, right? And I come in and I left the theater like my jaw dropped. I'm like, what the hell did I just see? This was freaking gnarly. Like, the movie was intense. Like, it was no joke. Like, just go see it, okay? You'll see what I mean. And I definitely recommend seeing it in a theater too, because it is really visually intense. It starts off kind of crappy and slow, but it keeps getting better. So, was Bill Murray in it? I'm going to leave that a mystery, okay? Okay, so the marshmallow is what these miniature gray suits look like. You have the gift of gab. What's gab? Yeah, I mean, I don't yeah, Angel, I have it, but I don't normally use it. Normally, I just, watch stuff on YouTube or Twitch or sometimes Disney Plus if it's, for Stefan, but I'm not really big into like TV shows. I used to be. I used to be in the Hulu and some of the shows on there, but I'm not really into that stuff anymore. What about it? What's on Netflix? Because a show called Hellbound came out and it looks really good. Yeah, the name Hellbound. All right, so Jack Peterson says false Christ might be coming soon. Remember, if you aren't 100% sure it's Jesus, it isn't Jesus. Well, that's how we know in iPad Go 2 that it's not Jesus, was when he comes out of the birth canal. Above the birth canal is a devil's head where the stimulation area for the female is. That's a devil's head. That's how you know he's not Jesus. It's blatant in front of your face. Who came first? Yeah. I wouldn't trust any deity that arrives here. I mean, I don't know how you could. I mean, then again, that's the thing. This is the scary thing about it. Like, they could lure you in, right? If they have so much power, right? If they have this hypnotizing, hypnotic stare or the pheromones or whatever the hell it is. Like, what if would that go against natural cosmic law if they hypnotize us where we wouldn't be able to resist his presence? I don't think that would be like legal cosmically, right? Like, would that even be something plausible? But being in a place like this where anything goes, there's no limit to suffering, nothing would surprise me, nothing would shock me whatsoever. I wouldn't be surprised if there came a day and people are walking around and then aliens like rip out of their stomachs and they birth out of them. And that's what it was meant when we're used for food. We're like being impregnated with some kind of, nothing would shock me. Nothing in this place would shock me. Okay. I'm just saying that right now. They can't hypnotize you because it's impossible to fake. That's true. Oh, genuine love can't be faked. I get, you have a point. You absolutely do have a very valid point there. I'm not getting on my knees for anyone, especially Christ. Little Sigourney Weavers rip out of their. Yeah, I mean, she's kind of a scary lady. So if that does happen, like, she's pretty intense. Like, I would probably run away. I'd be like, damn, I'm not messing with that lady. She's no joke. Yeah. I mean, but yeah, Angel, like, why? I don't think Jesus would want us to get on our knees anyway for him or for anyone. I don't think that's the whole point. But then Angel just made another good point regarding what Jack just said, is that people fall for false love every day. That's true. That is also true. We see that in relationships. We discussed relationships the last time we did a live stream. We see how people could lure people in, right? Even though their intentions are not so sweet, all kinds, sorts of things. This could be a similar situation, where, well, just imagine, most of the world, I think they would kind of fall for like this Antichrist. I think they would, at least at first. I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens. It could be years until he arrives still, so I don't know. Narcs. Flamethrower. Yeah, Sigourney Weaver's gonna have a flamethrower. She's gonna fight the queen alien. Yeah. I mean, that's one positive thing about like this realm is so messed up that it's kind of interesting too. Like, I do find it fascinating, don't get me wrong. Like, things do interest me. Like, it's really interesting how messed up it is. You know, it's like sometimes I wonder about that. And if we see an epic alien battle at the end of it, and you include some asteroids and things like that, I think that'll be pretty badass. I don't know. I wouldn't. I don't know. Angel thinks so too. Yeah, it would be pretty badass. All right, guys. We're like getting close to 40 minutes now, so I'm kind of getting a little bit tired and I got to go do something. So, last questions or whatever. And thank you for joining me. By the way, I didn't expect anyone to come, and I'm glad you came. So, thank you. Awesome. You have a good night too. I'll just awkwardly wait in silence for 20 more seconds in case anyone else says anything. All right, Jack. I'll see you later. All right. Okay, I'm going now.